journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, this is a picture of the Bradley stock market model. Okay, Donald Bradley wrote a book in 1946 where he said that the markets respond very positively or negative based on these particular events that occur astrologically. And so he made a graph like this called a Sadir graph. Now, what I want you to know here is I'm going to show you a little example here of how I got interested in this. When I went to Sarasota to work with Dr. Miller, I was extremely skeptical. She said she had things that were related to astrology that matched up with Fibonacci. And I said, well, you're going to have to prove it to me. She says, I will. So when we got down there, she brought out the little 48-page book by Bradley, and I couldn't understand any of it. She says, well, you don't have to understand any of it. So what she had done is she contacted Twentyman, and Twentyman used the Bradley model. It was, something that I had given him, and he ran with it, and it did pretty good. And so we had all the dates. And so what we did was she started showing me, she asked me the question, she said, when would be the most important times of looking at the market that you would think that this would actually work? And I said, if you can show me in October of 1974, that was when I got tapped out. And what happened between October and December? We had a big double bottom there in the Dow, down around 600. Gone from like 1140 down to 600. Doubled bottom on October and December. So I looked at it, and sure enough, she brought up the astrology stuff and the Bradley model. And boy, there it was. There was a big double bottom. And I said, well, okay, you've got my interest. Now, I'm not trying to get you interested in this, folks. I'm just trying to show you how I use this stuff, and that's what I'm looking at. Now, what I'd like for you to see is on the far left, you'll see 2025. That was December. Now, this means this is late November. You remember that, late November? Okay, now all I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you these dates later, but just remember late November, because what we're going to do now is we're going to go across the pond to the UK when our good friend Noor Bashar came up and sent this to us on the 25th of November, and he said the target fate for the high was November 27th, and you can see the 1.618 expansion, you can see the big ABCD, plus or minus 5 days. The high in the New York Stock Exchange Index that day was, guess what, November the 27th. So now let's take a look at what we had here. We had these dates here in the Bradley model, as you can see, 325, 513, 526, and this one 612, which is next Friday, which is my live trading day. And boy, that's going to be a really good shot, folks. If you get a chance to listen to this one, because this is a major spot, and we got a lot of things happening. So if you get a chance, come to that. Go to call or email Tommy at TFNN, and he'll sign you up. But let's take a look here. What happened? Now here, I'm just going to bring you those dates. Okay, now I wrote them right here. There was your March 25th. Okay, there was your next Bradley date. Okay, there was the 27th. The next one we have right here is next Friday. Now you can see on those dates, something really dramatically happened. This market exploded on that day. This made a major low on that day. This made a major high on that day. Now we're coming into June 12th, and we got a big one. So we're going to be watching it very, very closely. So that's it. I just wanted to show you that's how I look at these dates and try to line up with patterns and see. But we've got a couple of things going on in the market that are big time, folks. Here's one right now as we speak. Here's the E-mini S&P making all kinds of ABCD patterns up here at this 59. So far, the high has been 59.87. We're right there right now, and the high should be 59.91. So we're just a few points away from where that high should actually be. Now, last night, you'll notice the market sold off 50 handles. Came right down to there's your 382 right there, 59.12. The low was 59.09. And from there, we've rallied 90 handles. And here's where we are right now. Now, let's take a look at the Dow Jones, because that's the one that I think is happening, and it's happening as we speak right now. Post haste. Here's where we are, and there it is, folks. There's your number right there. The number on that number is you got a 1.618 expansion at 42,600, and so far today, the high on the market has been 42,598. This is 42,600. Well, if you believe these things, shucks, this would probably be a place. Take a look at a short side. I mean, nobody in the right mind would sell it up here, because look at this. You're straight up today. You still got 3 hours of live trading, and you're sitting there within 2 pips. The high was 25.98, and it was supposed to be 42,600. Now that might be off by a little bit, but that's what that looks like, and that's an ABCD. Okay, so let's get that out of the way, and we're going to take a look at another one here. Now this is the one that I looked at this morning, and I said that we had a pretty good chance here. This is the Russell. Now, there's the Russell. Last night, we had made the 382. Okay, you could. Oh, just a second. Let me get this up here. There's where we are. We made the 382, and I said we'll probably do an ABCD right here. And of course, once it went above here, it would have been a loss, because you can't risk more than 10 points when these numbers are right. That's why you're looking at the Dow Jones right now. The risk here is very, very small. All right, so that's what we're paying a little bit of attention to. Okay, now let's get out of the way here. Those are the main ones that I wanted to show you. Okay, now we're in a hog trade that's working pretty good right now. But this morning, as we were talking about the hogs and the cattle, I wanted to bring to your attention here, we had a beautiful ABCD here on the hogs, cattle. You see it's dropped 3 cents. Hogs have only dropped about a penny. We're in the hogs, so keep your stop above 106.50 is the stop on the hogs right now. They got a small profit. This one had a big profit, but I had to choose between the hogs and the cattle, and hogs happened first. This one happened today, early this morning, made a perfect ABCD, and as you can see, it was exactly at the 78% level of that move, and that would have made that absolutely a perfect Gartley sell signal. We'll just draw that in. I covered this, I believe, in the video last night. I am not so sure, because it was 3 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, that's what we're looking at here with the live cows here today. Now, our guest at the break should be Paula T. Webb, and we'll see what she has to go with us. But I wanted to show you something else that we were talking about in the video. We have a soybean position on. It's only out about $350 right now in the November beans. You see they've rallied here about 8 cents. Our stop was way below here. So right now it's starting to move a little bit higher. The wheat's still acting okay, not going crazy to the downside or the upside, but it's still at a profit. But the one I wanted to show you, because it was so important to me, and I did this yesterday on the show talking about the beans, that this was really what should be happening. Now, this was the December soybean oil. Now, we were looking for the ABCD to come down to this level right here. So we're going to draw it in, and all I'm going to show you, because this is what we tried to cover in the newsletter, in the video, and we'll get it up here, you'll see. We'll be right back. Stay with us, 877-927-6648.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs? Trade wars? Analysis paralysis? Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Okay, folks, we're looking at soybean oil, December. That's new crop oil. And the reason why I was watching it so closely is because we were long November beans and they weren't acting very well. And I was trying to see if there was any support coming in oil or meal. And of course, meal does have a great deal of support. It's still holding up really well, but the oil had been selling off. You can see we took off the May lows. So all I did was I took and saw what the ABCD measured to, which was 46.21. Right there was the 50% level. Remember, it stayed there at 02. From 02, it went down another $300 to make a low here. So what I watched last night, and I tried to show, is you had your ABCD pattern right here. If you take the BC leg, multiply it times 1.618, it brings you to right there. There's the low of the day, and the low of the day was right at 42, and so it held that level pretty nicely. Now it's rallied a full point, which is $600. Remember, Einstein said that mathematics precedes geometry. Here's the geometry. The 618 is the mathematics, and that's why it's so important. I bring that to your attention because what we were watching here today in this Dow Jones, let's get it up here so we can see it together. I have to get the charts up together so I can see them again because I got so much to show you. I'm afraid I'm going to miss something. And by golly, we've already hit that number. So there it is right there. You should have been filled now at 42.60 or 426. The high has been 426.13. Now you're only going to risk 50 points on this. So if you sold that right there, I mean, that's that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, well, you can do whatever you want, but that's where it is. Your stop has got to be stop's got to be right here at 426. We'll call that 426.60. So we'll put that in. Hold on one second, and your buy stop on this would be 42.60. 666. We'll call it the sign of the devil. Okay, there it is. You'd be short here at 426, and there it is right there. You've now made $10. Okay, so take your profit, buy yourself a nice half of a submarine sandwich, and don't bother me for the rest of the day. That's sort of a joke. Not very good of a joke, because you should never joke about money. If Mark was here, sitting beside me like he did for those 6 years, I could hear something like this. That would be the back of his hand hitting the back of my head saying, "What are you doing?" Because guess what, folks? The subconscious does not have a sense of humor. So don't over joke about money. That's not really good. Now you'll notice here on this pattern here, you've got the ABCD. And of course you see it doesn't make the CD leg, does it? The reason why, folks, is because of this explosive move last night. See, I'll show you why it was so explosive when I look at the S&P. So all we have to do to see if it's correct is you take this and you multiply the CD leg by 1.27, and let's see how close we get to where we're supposed to be. And that says, oh my goodness, let's look where it is. It's going to get to 42648, and our stop is 42666. So we're going to leave it the way it is. Now let's go back to the S&P, and you'll see why it was so very bullish last night. Okay, here was the market action yesterday. Here's where the sell-off. See, yesterday we went right up to the 61% retracement last night, and we backed off 50 handles. You see this number right here, 5112 right there? There's your 61, your 382 retracement was right there. The low was 10. It missed it by 6 points, and look what's happened. It shot up. Look at your ABCD on this, folks. It's 5992, and so far the high has been 5591. Maybe it means something, maybe it doesn't, but that's what we're watching. So let's see what's going on as we watch these things here unfold here so far today. Okay, now remember, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, let's get this out of the way here. Now, one of the things that we talked about yesterday, of course, was the gold market. And last night we had a big run. Let's get the hourly chart, because we had a big run up here in gold last night. You can see, let's do the hourly so we can see where it went to. And as you can see, we had the ABCD here. This should be moving at an ABCD to the upside. Now we're having a pullback today. You'll see yesterday's move went all the way. There was the overnight. Okay, there was the 30th on Sunday. On Friday. There was Sunday night. There was Monday night. Okay, Tuesday early morning, and now it's starting to back off, and that's where we are here today on the 3rd. Now, all it did on that move is we measured from the last high to the last move like this. You see it went up exactly to the 1.618 expansion of this move right here, exactly 1.6. Now, what are we doing? And believe me, folks, I don't make this stuff up. I just try to report it. This is what we've done here over the last few days. There's your pullback right here, okay? There's your 61% retracement right here from this high right there, and there's your 61% retracement. Tells you right up there there's going to be some resistance, just like we did on the other one. But look what we've done now. From this last low right back here to the high, we just hit just a few minutes ago at 360.60. It's already rallied $16. Now, what's so important about this? If you go back to Andrew Lowe's book, he talks about repetition in the market being predictable within limits. It's predictable within limits because it does have this repetition. You see that swing right there? You know what that is, folks? That is two harmonics. That's $72 to the downside. So the next correction should be, what? $72. And there it is. So that's why you're seeing it. Now you're starting to see the rally back. So that's what you're looking at. What I try to do is to show folks, that's what you want to do. But those numbers, they repeat over and over again. And they do it on the upside too, folks. They do the same thing on the upside. So we'll get this out of the way, and that covers that of what we wanted to see. PT's waiting in the wings, and we're going to see what we have going on with her. Hogs keep selling off a little bit. Cattle selling off a lot. that should push the hogs down a little bit too, because that is a pretty good pattern here in the market, and we'll get that out of the way here. I wanted to spend just a moment here on the bonds because this is getting to be the most beat up market in the history of the world, and for reasons that must be correct, folks, because you can see here, this thing has just been going down. It has no friends. See, we missed the ABCD on this by a few pips, and look, now we're starting to go lower. It still doesn't. It can't get out of its own way. It has a 10-day rally, and look, now it's getting ready to make another ABCD to the downside here in the bonds. There's your AB. Your CD should be right about there. Put it to 618. Move that over, and we're going to double check to see what it should be doing. And then you'll see there's your A leg, B leg, C leg, D leg coming in right there. And we're looking right around 111.09. That's down about another full point from where we are right now here in the bonds. So they don't look very good, folks. They haven't for a considerable length of time, and I think that we're looking at something that's going to see. They can't even make this. Now we're starting this. What happens if you get an A, B, C, D on this move right here, folks? Look at this. This could easily do this. This is just since April. Okay, now look, let's just do it quickly here because we've got a guest coming up. There's your ABCD. It's going to take us to 06. And what does this next one do? It's going to take us from this level here up to that level right there. There's where she's going, folks. 06, $5,000 from where we are right now. That's what it looks like from my perspective. Now, stay tuned. We have PT coming into the house. 877-927-6648.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, we're back, folks. I think we have PT Webb in the house. Paula, are you there?
Yes, I am, Larry. Always here for you and your listeners and viewers.
Okay, guy, need you today. Now, we've been through a lot of stuff over the past 45 years, but death is something that's hard to, handle. And today I found out that two of my old students from down the road along a piece, they both passed away, led great lives, lived to be old and everything. But, boy, when death happens, it's really, really tough. I would like to tell the folks when I worked at Commodity Corporation from 85 and 86, part of 84, 85, 86, they had two things that they put you on a sabbatical. One, if there was a death in the family, you were automatically put on a 3-month sabbatical with pay. If you were going through a divorce, you got a 6-month sabbatical. And that's just, they just knew that those two things were really bad. They had a full-time psychiatrist on the board. That would have been a great job for Mark, by the way. Now, Paula T., you talk to a lot of people and stuff, but do you agree that when you go through a period of something like that you really should step back and revise everything, or at least take a deep breath?
Oh, absolutely. As you know, Larry, I didn't trade for about 2 years after Mark passed away because everything was all messed up anyway. But my mind wasn't right. I couldn't really focus in the way that I needed to. And so, I don't like to lose either, like anybody else. And I just knew that I would probably make mistakes, and that might be quite costly. So, I made the decision just to, pull back. I had to rebrand the business and, get new books published on top of that as well, and rebuild the coaching industry that we had going, and that didn't leave enough room for me to mentally prepare myself or repair myself to trade. I just wasn't willing to take a risk, because I lost everything, as you know. And so I just made the decision. I gave myself 2 years, and I said, if I'm not back in 2 years, then I'm going to hang it up. And it was just a little over 2 years. And one day I was talking to a good friend of mine. I think his name was Larry Pesavento, and he said, get back up on the horse. What's stopping you? Come down here and trade with me. And that's what I needed to hear. And thank you for that, Larry, because I did. I got back up on the horse and I started trading. So yes, when you have a really sad event, and especially with you have two good students, two friends that have passed over. Yeah. The bridge.
Just within 2 days of each other, yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. It really is. Did I know them?
No, these were from a long time ago. Well, during the time that we were in Pismo Beach, they came to Pismo, but not during the time you and Mark would come. There were always we kept that was always separate for you guys. I never took any students while you guys were there because it was too much fun hanging around with Mark. Yeah. And he always brought Robert or somebody else who was fun to be around. So, I kept that time really special. But no, it's okay.
Pismo Beach was a good time.
That
have a lot of fun memories of that area. We almost moved there, and then you moved to Tucson.
I remember. Yeah, that's it's back in those days. And then you did come to Tucson.
Yes.
Paula T., I'll tell the folks the day that you got here was August the 16th of 2000 and 96. It was 1996, and it wasn't that correct?
It was 2001 actually.
2001. You stayed till 2006. So it was August the 16th, which was the day Elvis died, and we were having a monsoon storm, which we get here, and I couldn't get in the house because the electric door opener was on electricity, and I couldn't get in the house. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear this crack, and there's this giant eucalyptus tree right in front of my house, split in half, and half of it went into my house, into my master bedroom, and then the rain really came, and it filled up my house with 5 inches of rain. It did, I think, $40,000 worth of damage, and I said, oh, God, I'll have to remember that. So whenever I see that time of the monsoons coming in, but that was and it turned out okay, but my goodness, it was really something. Paula T., tell the folks, you got some things that are really great coming up. This new book, Jim Bartolone's been talking about it on his website, and also our good friend Ziggy over in the UK has been talking about it. And when do you think it'll be out?
Well, I'm working on it this week. I kind of cleared my calendar. I'm not trading this week just because I'm kind of behind schedule on the publishing deadline. So I'm going to say probably 2 or 3 weeks at the most. It'll be out. The Sacred Path of the Warrior Trader, and it's going to be dynamite. The problem is I thought it was done, and then I thought, oh, no, it's not done. I'm not pulling a Mark Douglas here.
Yeah, oh yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Yeah,
it's just going to be a couple extra weeks, and so it's and this is it's going to be some really cool material and help traders understand how much further they need to take their mental approach to their trading. That no one else is addressing.
Yeah. Whenever Mark wrote a sentence, folks, there was 10 sentences behind it that he had already started with. And he did one revision all the way out to 10, 11, 12, sometimes I don't know how many. Drove me nuts.
Hundreds.
Because I know. Drove me nuts.
I'm lucky I still have any hair left from that.
Yeah, well, that's got to be the reason why I don't have any, because that was the reason. I said, there's not any difference between that. He says, there's a difference to me. And I said, well, if that's the case, I said, well, why is it that? He said, no. He said, it's got to be done perfectly or I don't want to print it. I said, well, hey, it's your book, not mine. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Do you have anything special for the folks today?
Well, I mean, I'm sorry to hear about your 2 students, but, loss is loss, whether it's personal or, heart-filled or financial. And one of the things that I can't stress enough is we've seen in the news about this Italian crypto trader who was kidnapped and tortured by the very people who stole his money. And they held him captive, I think, for a couple weeks or something in a hotel in New York City, and he finally escaped. But and they lured him in under the guise of, yes, we're sorry we stole your money. We're going to give it back to you, but you need to come bring your computer and we'll settle up.
I hope he didn't fall for that. Oh.
Well, yeah, he did, because they hired a couple beautiful chicks to lure him into the bar, and then, the rest is history. So, but what it was he had other crypto accounts where he had millions of dollars, and they wanted all of that too. So the point I'm getting at is, we've talked about this before, Larry. If you're trading crypto, take out a certain percentage of your profit every week. Because if you don't, and you just leave it sit in there, these crypto thieves know that you're greedy. And then they are going to attach themselves to your account, and they are going to take your money. And there's no way you're going to get it back. So then you're going to be, whoever leaves their
Paula,
trading.
We're on a break now. When we come up, let's tell the folks how they can reach you, okay? And, offer them something special if you want, okay?
Okay.
Okay, see you later. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leverage and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds for both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, we're back, folks, with PT Webb. Paula, tell the folks how they can reach you if they need some help, and because you sure can give it to them. So tell them how they can reach you.
You can reach me at paulatwebb.com or markdouglas.com, whatever is easier, 760-636-4290. You can always Google me. And just, the last thought about the crypto stuff, be careful, guys, okay? Take your profit out and put it in a bank so you're not targeted. And don't brag about how much you're making on crypto in social media, because that makes you a target. So just, I can't say this enough. This is the world we live in. We have to protect our assets. And, bragging about it isn't going to, keep you safe. So. Yeah.
They got some bad hombres out there.
Yeah. And on top of that, remember, we're doing the life coaching now. And we are also offering the trader's contract, which is something that, Mark and I have been doing for a long time, Larry, providing traders and their spouses a written contract together to allow them to trade for X amount of time and see if they can follow through on that without their spouses interrupting the flow, so to speak. Yes,
I remember.
So So this is something that's really taking off now, and of course, anybody who calls from your show, Larry, gets 20% discount on all of our services. So that's our gift back to all of your viewers and listeners.
great. I'll tell you a story about that contract stuff. It was about 30-some years ago. I just moved here to Tucson, and I had a young lady who wanted to be a trader, trading there. Her name was Lori Goff. She had a bronze medal in the speed skating. She was from Wisconsin.
I was going to say, I know that name.
Yeah.
Right.
And so she came out to visit me for a few days, and she ended up doing very, very well. And she was working as an accountant or a bookkeeper for a lumber yard, and her husband was he was a tradesman for that. And so every morning before he would go to work, he'd poke his head in her office and say, "Don't try to lose all our money today, honey." And this just drove her nuts. And she was making more. I mean, she was doing really well. She was taking in $8-10 a month, just a week. This was a lot because she had like $100,000 in her account. She was doing just incredibly well. And she finally called up one day and said she was quitting. And I said, "Why?" She said, "Well, it's either, lose my husband or quit the job." And she says, "I love the job. I love my husband, so I love my husband more." And I said, "What's he doing?" And he told me. And I said, "Lori," I said, "you're looking at this the wrong way. You got to take care of Lori first." And I said, "All you do is read him the Riot Act." And I said, "It'll be no problem." And he said, "What's the Riot Act?" I said, "Look, if you don't like it, it's my way or the highway. And you're going to find out whether he loves you as much as you love him." She said, "I can't do that." I said, "Lori, you won a bronze medal in the goddamn Olympics, for God's sake. You can certainly do that." Right. Yeah, and she did it. And she said, she called me up. She said, "I can't believe it." He said it was like a major turnaround. And, of course, she did pretty good. And then, unfortunately, she ran into some cancer and stuff. But her son later on went into the Olympics, but he didn't get as high as she did. Hey, sweetie, thanks for joining us. We'll have you on in another 2 weeks, okay? Or next week. Come on next week, because we got the live trading next week. Want to have you on. Okay?
Super.
Okay.
See you then.
All right. You bet. Hang in there, folks. Care. You bet. We're going to pull up a couple of charts here and see where we stand. At least I hope we will. Okay, oh dear, I got to get the entire screen up here. Hopefully we get this up here. MC, let me know when you can see everything, okay, dear? Okay, there's where we are. Okay, now we had something we went through where we did. Oh, we got this trade here in the Dow Jones, and you can see here we sold it at 46.20. This level is 42.649. Our stop is 42.660. So we write out $90 right now, and we'll see if that makes anything. If you'd have done the S&P at 91, that's got 4 points profit in it. So who knows what's just going to happen? It's all about risk and control, folks. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you don't lose. You don't know whether these are going to win or not. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, and that's all you can do. Okay, now let me show you one that drives me nuts. Okay, here, well, they all drive me nuts, but sometimes it's more than others. This is the darn wheat market. The soybeans are still holding up okay, but look at the wheat. We bought this thing way back here, as you remember, and we took $1,100 out of it. Then we bought it back here at 73, with our stop below here. We're risking 10 cents. Now, this is exactly where we sold it. Well, yesterday it had a $400 profit in it. Today it had a $500 profit in it, and I'm still in it. I didn't take profits on either one of these. The reason why is I can't act quickly enough to let the folks know, yeah, well, maybe we should take some off. But if you're playing for something big, you got to stick with it and don't look at it. Take it off your watch list and don't look at it. I'm looking at it because people ask me about it, and it does a pretty good job. Let's just take a look here. It follows the patterns really good if you're doing short-term stuff. There's your ABCD right up to the old 707, and then today's rally, what did it do? It came right up almost to the exact 786. Well, there's your 61, there's your 786, and now it's backed off again. This is highly probable now that we're getting the test one more time down here in the wheat. I don't know if it's going to or not, but let's just look at it. There's your ABCD pattern right here, and there it is right there. See, that still will not stop you out. It's going to get these stops out, but our stop is below here. So we still think we got a good chance at this. We still think we have a good chance in the soybeans. They're still down against this $300. $300, and you can see it's had a pretty good rally. If we can take out the highs up here we got a really good chance here that this is the major bottom down in this level right here. I base that on the fact that it looks so nice of what's happening with the soybean oil. As you can see here, it's had that bottom. It's rallied more than a point so far. That's telling us that's doing pretty good. And if we look, there's hogs, folk, making new lows here on the day. Remember, we sold them right up here. Now they're working okay. So let's see what happens. This should be a pretty good one because cattle have already turned down and they're pulling the piggies down too. Not that they need any help to be pulled down, but I think that's what we're paying attention to. Looking at this on the long-term daily, that's where we were. You can see we went right up. There's where we sold it. High was just a little bit higher than that today, but not anywhere close to our stop. And now it's in our favor now, about $350 in the hog. So stay with that because that's got a really good chance of being a nice payoff if it continues to work. Now, if we get above 106.50, then we're gone, and you just can't stay with it if it does that. There's just no way you can possibly do that. On the final closing note, watch this one right here, folks, because we have an interesting one here in the there it is right there. As you can see here, this is crude oil for all day today. You can see there was our low last night. And then we had the ABCD pattern right here, pulled back exactly to the 61% retracement right there. Okay, now if you go back to take the low right back here and mark this one back up, see, there was your 382, there was your 50%. You had double numbers there within only within 10 points. That's really pretty good. And then you had another one here this morning. If you look, it also just barely backed off to the exact 382. There's nothing looking bearish about this at all, folks. So keep it high. We'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, this is the euro over the last month. You notice it missed both patterns up here, very unusual. Didn't even make a 1.618 expansion. Didn't make the ABCD here. This is indicative that the dollar has held up, folks, because the dollar was able to hold the bottom. You'll get this up here. You'll be able to see it. We brought it to your attention yesterday. But there's the dollar index on the daily. You'll see, and we stopped right there, and you can see now we reversed almost all of that. A little bit higher, you'll have an outside day telling you this is a pretty good bottom. But there was the bottom here. We rallied pretty good. So that's why this euro looks like it's got some room to go to the downside and the dollar to the upside. What I'd be watching here is you can see the move that we've had so far over the last few days. The last pullback that we had right here, you can see was just about 50%. So if we mark that one over to this one right here, you'll see you're almost there right now. See that 50% pullback? So this is where it's got to hold to find out if it's going to hold that level. These are equal, just like we saw in the gold. There it is, 45.6. If you move that one over there, it was exactly the same thing. You just move over and you'll see there it is right there. So just repeating over and over again, it's got to hold this. And now we should start to go higher. If we get anywhere near this level up here, 115, I think that will mean the dollar is trying to hold that 618 one more time and then would have to reevaluate. But right now, it looks like it's getting ready to have a little bit of a bounce. I would expect a 382 and then maybe a move to the downside, but that's for another day of what we're looking at. By the way, if you do have problems with your trading and you need some psychological help, Paula T is a great source of information, folks, and she doesn't charge very much at all, and she's really good at it. She was Mark's, well, they were locked at the hip, but they knew exactly what to do. I saw it firsthand for 35 years. So let's take a break here. We'll see you on the flip side tomorrow, and may God bless.